Hello and welcome back to another Star Citizen video. Today we're going to take a look at Starlancer TAC, a ship that actually I want. I really want this ship, but there's a few pointers that make me say, you know what, I don't need this ship, not because it's not good, okay? It's great. Because I have another expensive ship in my fleet. So having two ships of the same role kind of defeats the purpose. But then again, it's a nice ship because the Starlancer TAC is, I won't say build, it is a variant from my recommendation, my go-to recommendation if you want to enjoy the Star Citizen experience, which is the Starlancer hull. And the Starlancer hull in general is a great hull. You have pilot control weapons, you have enough cargo bay to do what you need. It has amenities on board for multi-crew, and the Starlancer TAC dial it up to 11 for combat. And we're gonna take a look whether it is still, or would it replace the Starlancer Max, or it's just another ship that you say, you know what, if I want to do a little bit more combat, this would be the pick. Okay, so before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And of course, number one, PSA, you do not need to buy any of the ship with real money. However, with that being said, this series of videos, is it worth shipping, is generally for people who wants to spend with real money. And of course, I already have a few requirements for me to, I would say I would enforce a little bit more about ships that I think is worth picking. But of course, there is a number one PSA is you do not need to buy any of this with real money. All right, that's the number one PSA. That's it. Okay, now let's take a look at the Starlancer TAC. Now the Starlancer TAC is a tactical variant, and tactical assault and rescue, and this makes this ship, I would say, top of the list because it has a medical bay. That's my number one requirement when it comes to a ship. The Starlancer Max is already a great ship to begin with. Now adding a medical bay on top of it is like, I think this is the go-to daily driver for multi-crew. Yes. However, there is a few downsides about it. Okay, number one is the price. I'm gonna say straight up. Price tag is Now, before we go to the price tag, we want to go through the I won't say the facilities, the feature. So we have a medical bay, we have drop ship, drop seats. So that means this can fulfill as a gunship, gunboat, drop. You know what? This is an all-in-one tactical ship. You have drop ship. You have drop seats. You have enough pew pew to fulfill kinda in between of a gunship and a dropship. And we want to see what's the size of the side turrets, the top turrets as well. And we have pilot control weapons. So this ship as a whole, it's literally the best package when it comes to combat. And I dare say a little bit, it actually can fulfill as a daily driver thanks to its medical bay, or rather built-in medical bay. Now, do note that the Starlancer Max can fit in an Ursa Medivac, so that's actually still a better option and a cheaper option. In fact, the Constellation Taurus plus Ursa Medivac is the best, cheapest value so far that I can recommend. Yep, and that's that. Next up, also, the Starlancer TAC has a Snub Fighter bay for a Fury. Now, obviously, I'm gonna say this, right? If you can fit any ship in the hangar, you can carry it, right? And I'm gonna say this straight up, okay? Just because it's on brochure on here, it says Fury, I'm gonna call out that if any ship that is smaller or equal size to a Fury, most likely people will stuff it in. That's 100%, and I would do it too. So that's great. And one ship army base, and technically speaking, I will admit, because I wanted this ship when it first announced, I really wanted it. It's technically my mini Polaris. The problem is I want the Polaris, so I have to choose in between the two ships, which is a little bit painful. So at the end of the day, as much as I like this ship, I want this ship, but because I want to own a Polaris, this ship is I would say it will still be in the hangar, but most likely I'm gonna just buy it with in-game currency rather than with cash. That is just because I want more expensive shit, right? That's just me. Now, before we say about like, yay, we want to own all these ships and whatnot, problem is price tag. So we're gonna jump straight to the price tag first, and that's a big deal. 375 US dollars. That's a lot of money. And of course, any ships that even though I will recommend, I would still go to just upgrade. Upgrade your way up. Don't even bother with sticker price, right? I do know this is in Canadian dollars. I can't change it, and that's a bit painful for me. So I would say just grab Warborn upgrade. So we have a Warborn upgrade, $340. I would grab the next closest upgrade, which is the Caterpillar. Now the Caterpillar is a nice ship too, and if you want to try out multiple ships, this is the best way to do it if you want to spend with real money. If not, then buy it with in-game currency. Hey, that's that. Do note it says here 14 Canadian dollars, but it is 10 US dollars, so that's how I do it. And I can guarantee by doing this, you can get the Starlancer TAC at a cheaper price tag, right? Definitely you can get below $300. I'm gonna say straight up, you can get it below $300. Yup. But you have to be a little bit patient. And last but not least, you also get a very critical, I would say, critical? No, a very important feature, and that is insurance. Now, it is not a deal breaker, do note, but for me, I like it to come with lifetime insurance, so that's that. And that's it. That's how I get cheap ships. Special insurance offers. Okay, so that's it. Forget about all these things, because pain, you know what? No to pain. As of, I think, Invictus launch week, with the fiasco for Invictus launch week, I've put my feet down and I'm going to say this straight. I will say no to cosmetic items for me, right? You can still get cosmetic item, but again, vote with your wallet. And no to any other ship performance packages. That's a little bit painful. So I'm going to say no to those two. Not say in general, like I'm going to say no. And armor packs and whatnot. There's only a small little, like very specific reason for me to buy cosmetic item, but in general I would say no. Okay, so that's that. And what do we have next? Cargo, we have 96 SCU. That's actually kind of generous, although I do like it to be a little bit bigger, but that's all right. Next up, we have shields, 2 size 3 shields. That is beefy, very beefy shields. Before we go there, let's take a look at the compare, right? Starlancer Max and the Starlancer TAC. I know they don't write a lot of things really, so one is a medium freighter, one is a patrol ship, again, one is more combat, and the other one is just normal. Cargo capacity, yes, obviously the Starlancer Max will have the biggest capacity for cargo, but hey, it's not really that far off, just 60% less. That's, I think. Avionics, same. Propulsion, fuel intakes. Okay, fuel tanks, it would be quantum fuel tank. So that means the Max is better in terms of long range. That is normal because all combat ships usually has terrible, I would say, utility stuff. Thrusters? Huh. Okay, this one I'm curious. 6 VTOL. Indeed. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna... almost there. The Starlancer TAC is almost a great ship. So it went from great to good. Starlancer Max still wins. Because the power plant is crucial for any combat, not say combat ship, for any ship that relies a lot on weaponry. But of course, the weaponry for the Starlancer TAC is beefy, right? 2 times 2 size for weapons, that's for pilot. Right, let's go through the specs. Let's scroll all the way down. So pilot control weapons, you have 2 dual gimbal with 2 size 4, and that's great. We have 2 remote turrets for size 4, 2 man turrets for size 5. That's very good. 2 mounted door guns. Yeah, you know what? If you want to buy a dropship, if you need a dropship, Starlancer TAC's your boy, right? Dropship, gunship, medical facility, snub fighter. You know what? It's an all-in-one tactical ship. And I think this would be the baseline, the new baseline for anyone who wants a multi-crew combat, not say multi-crew combat ship, but multi-crew combat command. Yeah, it's a tactical ship. Okay, tactical ship. Power plants 1 times size 3, quantum size 2, jump drive size 2. But size 3, okay, this one I need to double check a little bit. Hold on, because this power plant is a little bit deceiving. Okay, I load up the DPS calculator because that's a little bit more accurate. Starlancer TAC. All right, let's go. We don't care about that. Shields 2 size 3. Power plants 1 size 3. That's PV 1 size 3 cooler. Quantum drive 1 size 2. Now, if we go to Starlancer Max, now this is important because the size of the the power plant makes a big, yeah, okay, there we go. Now this is more like it. Okay, so the Starlancer TAC went from great to good, now becomes great again. Because this is important. This is important because yes, 2 size 2 generates more in general, right? But the luxury comes in, yeah, there we go, smaller, generate less. Now, of course, the maintenance for a military ship is a little bit easier because you only need 1 of the best versus 2 of the best. Of course, the currency will dictate a lot of things. So again, before we go any further, I would like to say all of these are subject to change. Sure, there are some ship it is great today, but it might get a little bit of nerf next patch and whatnot. And I want to retain a little bit of flexibility. So sure, you might like some ship, but you know what? Make sure you don't taper your expectation. That's how I'm gonna put it. So with that, the Starlancer TAC is an okay, you know what, at the end of the day, it's actually an okay ship for general multi-crew use. One of the big reason is the price tag, $375 versus $250. That's $125 more. If you can get it in-game with in-game currency, it is, I can easily say, this would be my daily driver in general because it has pilot control weapons. If I want to do a little bit of pew pew on the side, sure, no problem. I want to do cargo hauling, sure, no problem. I want to do ground FPS, even better because it has medical facility, built-in medical facility to top it off. And that's it. That's it. The only downside is the price tag. And if you do care about performance, then of course the Starlancer TAC is just slightly a little bit more, I wouldn't say lousier or terrible. It's just a little bit more inconvenient because now you need size 3 power plant, size 3 cooler, so it might cost a little bit more than perhaps 2 size 2. And if you are talking about raw raw stats, then the Starlancer Max is definitely better when it comes to power generation and coolers. But for shields, yeah, in general, I would say the Starlancer TAC is slightly a little underpowered for the amount of power that it packs. Yeah, it really would drain a lot of power. So I think that's give or take in my opinion. So there we go. Is it worth shipping the Starlancer TAC? The answer is, I won't say a wholeheartedly yes, but it has more checkboxes ticked for me. I would say it's actually on a yes because I do want it. I do want it. Yup. And if you want a big ship that bites, the Starlancer TAC is your boy, straight up. If you do more combat activities than general activities, Starlancer TAC, I would say it's the gold standard for me in terms of facilities and whatnot. It has everything. It really does have everything. Wow. So that's that. That's all I have for you for today. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. Until then, I will see you guys in the verse, and fly dangerous. Yup. This is a nice ship. Oh my goodness. This is really, really a nice ship.